You know, I've always heard it said that the Phoenix Valley of the Sun is hotter than hell. Well, I haven't been to hell, thank goodness, but I don't think it's hotter than hell. We'll talk about it. But first, remember, click that like button, hit subscribe, ring the bell. And of course, if you need any assistance in real estate, always feel free to give me a call. I'm always here to help you. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, the heat. The last I checked, and I have traveled, been around the United States a little bit in my lifetime. The last I've checked, summer, no matter where you are here in the United States, has some heat in it. And the dry heat, I'm here to tell you, makes a difference. I served my basic training in Fort McClellan, Alabama when I was in the Army. And we marched and ran around in combat boots and packs on our backs and everything. And I tell you, 87 degrees with 70% humidity, the heat index says that's kind of like being in 106. No, it ain't. It's more like being 110, 115. I mean, not only is it hot being humid and the temperature isn't as high, man, I tell you, it's hard to breathe. Any of you that's been anywhere that's humid, think of green. In the summer, you got humidity. And it's hard to breathe. Really is. Actually, if you've been away from humidity and go there, try to run, do any exercise, outdoor sports in humidity, you actually have to really struggle to breathe. There's another thing. When you come outside, you're all nice, you got your dry clothes and everything else. I don't know, in about 30 seconds, it looks like somebody hit you with a garden hose. And of course, the ladies always complain how it messes up their hair and their makeup. Arizona, Phoenix Metro Valley, you don't have those problems. We're not dripping in 60, 70, 80% humidity here. I'll take the heat with no humidity or low humidity over a humid place anytime. And winter, we don't have to shovel sunshine here. I'm telling you, I'm out there in Thanksgiving time, Christmas time, in shorts, short sleeve shirt, t-shirt, and I'm barbecuing. Well, you can't do that when it's, 10 degrees, 20 degrees below zero. You just can't do that. And your cars are rusting away. Well, you first have to shovel your car out, and then it is rusting away. So, yeah. I don't think it's hot as hell. Death Valley, a lot hotter than it is here. Let's talk about real temperatures. I know that there's that mythology that, it's 130 degrees or 120 degrees. These stories must be being spread by those sweet people that just love to tell stories, and, they want to tell these one-off fabrications, to try to do the one-up, like, the 1 pound fish that, ended up being 5 pounds type of thing. That ain't reality here. The average temperature in June is 104, okay? The humidity is 20%. That's reality. July gets a little hotter. Theoretically, it's the hottest month. 106 is the average temperature, humidity around 30-31%. Then the monsoons kick in, the famous haboobs, the monsoons and the rain, and that knocks that temperature down, and the humidity goes up to a big whopping 38%, and the average temperature is about 104. All I have to say is 5.7 million people. Phoenix has many times been said to be the most fastest and largest growing population area here in the United States. Well, it's for a reason. It's called the summer fun. People love the summer. I love the summer here. When it gets hot and warm, Mommy always says when it gets 95 to 100 degrees, You're allowed to go swimming in your pools. Why? Because now the water's heated up enough. It's time to go swimming. Summer fun, okay? We're going to do a lot of things that a lot of people always say doesn't exist here in the valley. We have 8 lakes here that surround the valley, and I'll name them for you. The northwest, we have Lake Pleasant. One awesome thing about Lake Pleasant is it's a scuba diving mecca. Freshwater scuba diving, that's correct. There's over 14 scuba shops here in the valley. Yes, we're in the desert. There's a ton of water here in the desert. Must be enough to support more than 14 scuba shops. Well, one cool thing about Lake Pleasant is the Wattle Dam that you see right now standing today is the 3rd dam. The 2nd dam was and still is the world's largest arch dam. It's now underwater. It will average in depth according to the water levels moving up and down during the year where they pull water off for irrigation and stuff and add water back. But it averages anywhere from the top of the dam is about 40 to 100 feet deep. And then it's 136 feet from the top of the dam to the base of the Olafria River. And all the buildings and everything are still down there. You know, it's beautiful. There were park tables, all kinds of neat stuff. There's spillways. All these things are still down underwater in those lakes, and the lake has pretty good visibility, just as good as off of Catalina Island when you go lobster diving there in the kelp beds. Sometimes you'll have 20, 40, even 60 feet of visibility down there, especially in the colder temperatures when you get down there deeper. And there's some awesome things to see, and people do a lot of their certificate dives and stuff out there in Lake Pleasant, and you'll see divers. There is a huge dive community here. Interesting fact, huh? Moving to the east, off of the Verde River, we have Bartlett Lake. The Arizona state record for a flathead catfish is caught by Flathead Ed. That's not me. I wish my name's Ed, but I didn't catch that 64-pound flathead catfish. But it was caught by Flathead Ed there in Bartlett Lake. 64 pounds. That's huge. It's almost 5 feet long. It was a huge thing. And just above that is a little mud hole they call Horseshoe Lake. We'll still count it, still a lake. But now swinging around to the Salt River, there's 5 dams, 4 reservoirs on that river. The top river is Roosevelt Lake. The second one is Apache. Then there's beautiful and smaller Canyon Lake. And the most awesome, one of my favorites, is Saguaro Lake. Now, after Saguaro Lake, the Salt River runs for a few miles until it gets to Granite Reef Dam. One of the big things to do here in the summertime, people don't hide. You know, it's, oh, it's sweltering hot. Man, there are people by the thousands out here on the lakes and rivers. And one of the great things to do is tube down the Salt River. And man, I tell you, that is a ton of fun. We have done it many, many, many times, and we always enjoy doing it. And one cool thing when you do it, I have a picture right here, is that you might even see the wild mustangs watering. That's horses. We have a lot of wild horses here around the valley. They're left over from the Western days, and pretty cool. That's why they have Wild Horse Pass, is one of the Indian casino areas that they have here. But there's a lot of lore. You still will see wild donkeys, wild horses. There even for a time was some wild camels that the cavalry tried. High Jolly is stand off Apache Trail, and that was named after the Arab trainer who helped the cavalry do the experiment with camels here in the valley. A little bit of lore there. Actually, that's not as lore as much as it was history. It was a fact. So that is some of the awesome things you have there. And then swinging around to the southeast, we have San Carlos Lake. So there you go, ton of reservoirs. What else? Well, there's just countless number of city lakes And those are sponsored not only by the local cities, but by the Arizona Game and Fish. They'll stock catfish and trout. Trout they stock in the wintertime, the catfish in the summertime. And all you have to do is have a fishing license and you can fish in those lakes. Kids, of course, can fish for free. And we also have lakefront communities, and these are simply subdivisions that have the private lakes built around. They build homes around them, and then you're able to then have fishing, you have docks, you have boats and things on those private communities, and there are a lot of them, a lot of lakefront communities. I have another video on that, just on that subject, so feel free to look at that. A lot of fun. So let's talk a little bit more about that infamous heat. It's only been 3 times in the history, going back to keeping weather records here in the valley. That goes all the way back to 1896. Only 3 times, only 3 days did it ever get to be 20 degrees, 21 degrees, and 22 degrees respectively. Each temperature had a day. That was over a quarter of a century ago. In 1990, it got to 122 degrees. The day before that, it was the record of 120. The heat wave in 1995, it got to 121. That's 3 days. Now, they've been keeping those records for 45,600 days. So let's talk some more true facts, numbers. 117 degrees or above, there's only been 26 days in the recorded weather, and I have that right here. You can see the days and the dates right here in the temperatures. 117 or above, there's only 26 days in the past 45,000, say 600 and some change days, give or take a dozen days. Just depends on what day you're looking at this video. That has been 117 degrees or higher. Yes, it's hot. A lot of fun happens in the hot. I enjoy the heat, and obviously 5.7 million other people do, and people are moving here by the thousands, and we like it. I mean, if 20 degrees below zero is your thing and you want the ground to be frozen 6-8 months out of the year, that's why people live up north. But there is a lot of people that love the year-round beautiful weather that you have here in the Phoenix Valley. I'm grateful for it. That's why I live here. My family lives here. I enjoy the summer recreation. So hotter than hell? I don't think it's hotter than hell, but I'll tell you, it does get hot. But with that heat comes a lot of fun. I'll talk to you again. You guys have a great day. Bye.
It's hot as hell!
Someone here, good idea, Ed. Mama, I loved your straightening of your stuff. What do you mean? Oh, it's just funny.
It's going the whole time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. All right. Gotta remember what I'm talking about. Okay. I've always heard the Phoenix Valley of the Sun is hotter than hell. I don't think so. Let's.
It is hotter than hell. You can't.
Look, if you can smile like that in the whole video, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Look at that smile. That looks a lot better.
All right.
Act like that. Smile like that.
Mama, you interrupted my filming.
Disregard or act like it's not hot.
All right, honey.
Well, it's not hotter than hell.
Yeah, it's not hotter than hell.
Yeah.